Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, everybody. My name is Albert Tan from Download Silo. Welcome back to our Download Silo webinar session. So today we have a special guest called Mario Stopper. Mario, how are you?
Hey Albert, thanks. I'm doing fine.
Okay, that's good. Before we start, let me check, is there any members on the line? So guys, if you can see us and also see Mario, please type your name in the chat and also state your country of origin. For example, Albert Tan is from Malaysia, or just type Malaysia, Albert Tan. So guys, if you're around, please show your name and also type in your country of origin. Okay, so we have this Bob Reynolds. Bob Reynolds, where are you from? Which country are you from? Okay, Jadip, I see your name. Jadip, please type your name of your country. Okay, Bob Reynolds is from USA. Okay, guys, I think all are good. And we have Joginda Guma. Hello, Joginda. So, well, before we start, let's do some warming up question for Mario. Mario, are you ready to take my question?
Absolutely, Albert. Yeah, you can proceed.
Okay, yeah, Mario, your name is also special because this is the first time I see Mario Stopfer, you know. So where are you from actually?
So, originally from Croatia, but I've been living in Japan now for over 9 years,
So what have you been doing in Japan?
working all the time, of course. What
Working all the time, look like a Japanese, you know.
what can
So
I?
okay, so may the audience know what specifically you are working on?
So, as some of you may have already heard, I've been working on CodeSmash, right? This is the rapid development platform where you can basically just deploy your apps with a single click, and yeah, that's that.
Okay, so it's very simple.
Yes, quite simple. That's the goal.
Develop actually, like for me, I'm totally blank about this what I call code smash or whatever, no code application, you know, and API, that sort of thing. So it could be very difficult for some audience, but not difficult for some of the coder or maybe some people who are experienced in programming like you. So I would foresee that, you know, maybe I would appreciate you can go a little bit slower
Absolutely,
for the
yeah.
beginning, for the beginners, and bring us to speed, you know, as you like. So, guys, I think we can actually start now. And we have another guy. I'm not too sure how to pronounce this name. Magichas, RSK. So I'm not sure because there's no face. So if possible, please show your face in your what I call your profile picture. Mabel I, where are you from? Please tell us where are you from, Mabel I. Okay, guys, I think we can start now, and hopefully that more people will come on board, to our webinar. So before we start, maybe it's good for us to actually know what are we selling, bracket selling. No, we are actually asking this Mario to so-called introduce his product, which is called CodeSmash. So right now it's on LTD on early bird. So you can actually buy it at tier one and tier two. There are only two tier. Let me project the share screen on my side so that you can see what are the pricing. Okay, guys. Yeah, I think it's up there. So you can see that, Code Smash, these are the pricing. 199 is the highest tier, tier 2, and 99 is the tier 1. And if you are going to buy this, please use the coupon code early bird to get 10% discount. So maybe perhaps I can just ask Mario, what's the difference between tier 1 and tier 2?
It's actually in some of the features because most of the features are actually going to be the same, but deployment of something like WordPress, yeah, you can see it literally right here. For example, unlimited VPS deployments are only going to be part of tier 2.
Mhm. So, so which actually, what do you recommend for people who want to use tier one, or what people are going to use for tier two?
Okay, honestly, if you just want to check it out, you will start with tier 1. You will see that these things are fine. The application is actually working, and then it's just at that point it's just best to upgrade to tier 2, because like I said, everyone wants VPS deployments. Everybody wants to deploy WordPress sites without any limits, and the only tier that actually gives you that is the tier 2. So that's honestly the best one to get. And yeah, it's never going to be this cheap ever again, because this is just the lowest that's ever going to get.
Yeah. One thing that actually caught my attention is actually the one-click WordPress deployment, because about maybe more than 50% of the world websites are actually using WordPress. So many of the audience, whether in our group or maybe in the market, they are using WordPress. WordPress have a very big chunk of the market. So I believe this is something that a lot of people do not know yet. Your app can actually do one-click WordPress deployment. But bear in mind, WordPress deployment can have a lot of issues, a lot of problems. Might not be your problem. It could be the hosting problem. A lot of times it's a hosting problem. So this is something that we have to learn from you guys. So that how to actually solve this. So before we actually go into detail, let's Mario share your screen and we can
Okay,
actually start our webinar.
perfect. Let me have a look.
Your screen is shared.
It's going to be shared right
No,
now.
you already shared. You just have to click the tab that you want to go. Yes, that's it.
Okay, so you can see my screen now, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm not going to, go into too many details, but currently what CodeSmash is doing is just, enabling you to deploy apps really, really simply, right? Basically, it's just one-click deployment. And if you go here, you will just see a list of apps, right? These are the apps that I've already deployed, but let's assume that you want to deploy your own app. So currently there are three different types of apps that CodeSmash supports, and we can see that by like I said, going to the deploy app screen and then clicking here where it says select app to deploy. So currently we have three types of apps: a REST API. This is basically a type of app which will allow you to connect the database and move some data from your website to the database. A serverless web hosting. This is actually quite interesting. This is another app that you can deploy, which actually allows you to host static websites. And these are the kind of websites that actually cost you several cents a month, right? This is actually quite cheap. And then another one is basically a template for a Next.js app. So if you want to have Next.js is actually for those who are actually developers, you will know that this is one of the most popular, single page website frameworks today. So you can easily just deploy this framework into the web hosting. And this is actually what we're going to do right now. So let's just call this web hosting. So this is going to be a new web hosting, which we are going to deploy. If you see that I've literally just typed in the name of this web hosting, chosen the web hosting type for the application, and click deploy here. And after a couple of seconds, I just got the confirmation that the deployment has started. Now, what you're actually getting is dedicated resources on AWS for this hosting, among which are, the actual place where it's going to be hosted, and also the CDN. So if anyone is familiar with Cloudflare, this is what you're getting with CodeSmash as well. It's just that it's going to be all hosted on your private AWS account. So you're basically going to get their service called CloudFront, and it's going to distribute globally all your website files. So the thing is, I actually already deployed one hosting previously, so we can see this one here, and you can see by this here button that's now spinning, that it's still deploying. But let's quickly just go to an earlier one that I've deployed previously. You can see it here. So what do you see? You actually see the default domain. So we can actually go and check this one out. We can just select it. Uh, and if we go to this URL, we will see that we're getting access denied. And this is because on this URL, we currently don't have an app. So what we can do is actually deploy an app into this hosting and see how that works. So let's quickly do that. We will go now to the deploy app again, and we will now select a Next.js app. Like I said, this is a boilerplate, a template for a Next.js type of application. So let's just call it my Next.js, right? And the only thing that you now need to select here is the actual web hosting where you want to deploy your Next.js app. So you can clearly see this is the one that I said I'm going to deploy into, and this one is the one that's been currently deploying. So let's just select this one and click deploy. And that's pretty much all you need to do, because CodeSmash is actually going to take care of everything, in the background. And again, it says that app deployment started successfully. You will be actually able to see it after probably just a minute or two. So this is what's going on right now. So what's going on is that it's actually building in the background. So what it's actually doing is the following. It's taking the code, the Next.js, code for this application, building it. It's actually creating a CI/CD pipeline for building and maintaining the application. And once it's built, it's actually pushing it into your web hosting. So everything is automated. So you're probably asking yourselves, what's the benefit of that? First of all, you don't necessarily need to know that any of this exists. But the thing is, if at some point you decide not to use CodeSmash anymore, seeing as how all these services and applications are running on your own private AWS account, you will actually have a full DevOps development environment set up. So you can give it to a regular developer who knows how to use this, and he will be able to just do everything with this setup without using CodeSmash. So let's just go and look at where we are now. So it says here, my new Next.js app. So you can clearly see that it's still deploying. And what we do actually see is that it's going to use this early bird web hosting, and it's going to be hosted on this here particular URL. What we can do in the meantime is actually look at the pipeline. If you click here, we're actually going to go directly to our AWS account, and we can clearly see that this is the place where it's being built. We can see that the source, the code, is actually it has been already taken 1 minute ago, and now it's in the process of being built. So, and you can clearly see it literally just succeeded, so it's finished. If we now just go and refresh, we just wait for a couple of seconds, and we can see that the check mark is now it's now green. So let's go to our web hosting and refresh. And at this point, you literally have your web application running. So this is Next.js, and you can clearly see that it's been deployed by CodeSmash. So your application is now running. You can now change it. You can change the code. You can do whatever you want and deploy it again. So you're probably asking yourselves, but is it possible to deploy something else other than CodeSmash? The thing is, you can actually deploy any framework you want on this web hosting. So let's also demonstrate that we can do something that we can find online. For example, I've actually found this material framework that has this very nice analytics dashboard. So let's just try to take this and just deploy it on CodeSmash. So first things first, let's go here and delete the files. So everything that CodeSmash now did to deploy your app, we are now going to actually delete. So once this is deleted, we will be able to, add the new files manually. So we've done that, and let's also clear the cache from our CDN. Okay, this is going to take a while. We don't really care, but what we do care about is actually copying the new files. So let's go to our apps, to our web hosting. So now we're going to do it manually. It's the early bird web hosting. Let's see, early bird web hosting. It's right here. So one of the services that actually holds your files, it's called S3, the S3 bucket. So you just click here and you can see that it's empty now. And we are going to now upload the actual files. So the only thing that we have to do at this point, I'm actually going to take these files that I already have. I've built it previously. I have dragged it and dropped the files. And the only thing that I have to do now is just to upload them. Let's click here. This is just going to take a minute or two. This should take 4 more minutes. So you can see that this is actually the difference between, you know, automated, the automated deployment and the manual one. So the automated ones are that I support directly through CodeSmash, and everything else that you want that's not supported through CodeSmash, you can just upload the files manually. Okay, it's still being copied. While this is actually being done, we can go and deploy something else. For example, we can deploy a REST API. So let's call it a my new REST API. Maybe we can do that. Let's just go and click deploy. This is going to confirm. Only a couple of more files left. And the best part is this actually costs just a couple of cents because this is serverless hosting, which means you're not actually paying for it unless it's being used. So that's the difference between regular servers and the serverless web hosting. So now we can see that it's actually done. And if we go to this same URL, we just need to reload. And you can clearly see that the dashboard that I've mentioned previously, it's live. So everything is working, the account settings, the cards, anything that this specific template allows you to do, you are now basically in possession of a working example. If we now go back to the example that I talked about previously, so let me just remind you, what is an actual REST API? So if you have a front end, for example, what we've deployed right now, so this is just a front end. This is something that you can see, that your users can see, and that your users are actually going to interact with. But your users are actually going to be typing in some data, right? For example, the name, the email address, password, and so on and so forth. So the question is, where is this data going to be stored? And this data usually needs to be stored in your database. So you need to have something like that as well. Luckily, CodeSmash can accommodate that as well, because I've just deployed, like I said, a REST API, which is nothing other than another server. Again, let me remind you, this is serverless version, which just means that you won't be paying unless it's in use. So what this thing does is basically saves your data in a database that users type in, and you can later on retrieve it. So how do you work with an actual REST API? So you can clearly see the green check mark right here, right? And each API has several routes based on which you will get specific data. So what you can do is basically just type in users to handle your users and just click add routes. So you've literally generated some routes here based on which you will be adding data and getting the data back to your website. So you can just click deploy and let this run. It probably takes around 2 minutes to redeploy the API. But once you've done that, you can clearly see that it has now started deploying. Once you've done that, you will be able to use it immediately. So how do you use it? Well, if you see, you are probably able to see this URL here. So from this URL, you will be able to just use it from your front end. So your developers are just basically going to be able to invoke this URL with the mentioned routes here and add the data and retrieve it. So after 2 minutes, it should be done. Let's just wait and see. So Albert, if anyone currently has any questions, they're free to ask.
Okay, maybe I should
Absolutely.
project some of the question.
Yes, absolutely. Feel free.
Okay, Mabel is asking quite long the question. You can read on the right hand side or maybe wrong on the screen.
Oh, yeah, I have to switch here. Okay. Actually, for a VPS, yeah, it's the VPS question, right?
Hmm.
Okay, I mean, yeah, you will already get it with either Linux or Windows distribution. So it's up to you.
Okay.
If you want some specific file to have it as an executable, then yes, you will be able to move the file there and do whatever you want with it.
No, the last part of the question is whether tier one is it good enough to do that?
Full configuration.
Your tier one price, tier one pricing.
So we have to check, right? If you can switch to your screen so we can confirm.
Can you see that? Oh,
Uh,
this is the one.
yeah, I can still see my screen.
So which you want to see the pricing, right?
Yeah, so that we can
Okay,
confirm.
this is the one.
So
Then
this is the early bird pricing, the VPS. Okay, so 10 workplaces. Okay, Webflow API connector. Yeah, looks like the VPS is going to be on tier two.
so Mabel, you have to buy
That's
tier
the
two.
simple question. Yes, and simple answer.
Okay, so is your REST API deployed? Then we can jump back into that.
I think it's already deployed, so we can go back.
Okay, so go back to the tab that you show your screen. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can see the green check mark. Let's just reload one more time to see if everything's going to load. So obviously, every time you reload, you're going to see the loading, and your routes are also going to be loaded. Yeah, exactly how we expected. Now you can actually start the testing. So usually you will have to add users, right, to your website to store them, right? So you're going to store the username, the password, and so on and so forth. So let's say we want to, test some of these routes. So this specific route you can use to, add the data into the database, right? So we can just add ID one. Let's add some data. You can add any data you want, of course. For example, name. It's going to be Jimmy, right? And we can go and say age, maybe 25, right? And the only thing you have to do at this point is just click test route. You will see that it's running here. And we've gotten back success, which means that we've added the user. So we can try another one, right? And call it just Steve, and the age is going to be, maybe 40. Try again. And again, we have the success here. So that means the user has been added. And if we now want to check and see if this actually worked, we can do this here, get route. So just click here where it says test route, right? We are now testing this here route, and just click test route. And you can clearly see the results here. So this is our data. The user Steve and the user Jimmy with their ages have been, been retrieved back. So literally, you now have a working server, right, where you can access the data literally by following this here URL, this API. And I'm actually going to demonstrate that this is not just through CodeSmash. You can just paste it in and use this here route called users, and you will get the same data. So if you just go to this URL and type in users, and you just go here, yeah, you are getting back a JSON file, right, with the info for Steve and the user Jimmy. So that's pretty much it. That's how you can set up your backends. So with CodeSmash, pretty much just one click, setting up your front end, setting up your back end, and you just give it to your developer who's going to connect it to and start working on them and building your apps. Now, what most people are actually interested in, obviously, is the VPS, and this is the upcoming feature, which is going to be done in just a couple of months. And with this same procedures, it's going to be this simple, right? You will just be able to deploy your API and deploy VPS, and deploy any app you want into your VPS. It's going to be that simple. So that's my part. Thank you, Albert.
Okay. So are you going to show any other things?
I think that's it for now. If someone later on has any questions or something, I can show them. But for now, I think that's it.
Okay. Yeah. Why not we go into the other question? Then,
Perfect.
as they ask, then we can see more question coming up. Okay. So yeah, if user has bought it earlier, what they call LTD launch, is it on our? Can I use to create an API for a product that currently does not have an API available?
Oh, that's the question on the screen, right? Let me check. For a product that does not currently have an API, yes, that's the goal, right? If it doesn't have an API, then you can make one for it. That's the goal. And it's going to, oh, actually, there is one thing. I'm not going to go into too many details, right? Can you just reshare my screen somehow? Because people are probably thinking that they need to write code for this, right? It's actually not the case. Let me just show you that for this here, right? We deploy this my new REST API. That's your API, and if you open it, you will see that it says here API Builder, right? Edit in API Builder. So just click here, and that's what's actually going to be opened. So let's just again wait for the routes to load. Yes. So each of these routes is implemented in a way to either get back the users or insert them into the database. Or, for example, in the case of the delete method, obviously you can probably guess it's used to delete the data from the user from the database. In this case, a user. So we are now looking at this here routes tab. But if we go to the functions tab, we actually see, well, first of all, we see the table here with the data in the database, but here we can actually select each of the routes that we've created previously. And for each of these routes, for example, for the user's route, we have these blocks. These blocks are, as you can clearly see, movable up and down. So each of these are like statements. These functions are going to execute some code. You don't need to know, how code is implemented in the backend. You just need to know what each of these functions does, and you can easily add them, manually. You can minimize them so that they are not in your way. And if you want to add more to do so that each route does exactly what you want, you just find the function here, each of these, right? If you want to call maybe some other API, you can type in the URL here, and each of these blocks does something for you. So this is a no-code approach to creating your APIs. Once you understand what each function does, you can make your routes do exactly what you want. Get the specific data from a database or insert the data. So that's that. Yeah, thanks, Albert.
Okay, thank you. So let's go back to the questions. Next question will be, you can stay on the same screen, yeah?
Yeah, I can stay.
No, you can go to the this screen. Then you can read from there, right? Can you read from there?
No, no, I don't have. Actually, I don't have because this is in
Oh,
full
okay.
screen.
Okay, then you have to go back to the other screen. Is there currently a feature to configure the server to auto boot or kill certain tasks that consume too much resources when it reaches certain memory usage?
That's something that's really going to be needed, yes. But like I said, the VPS feature is an upcoming feature, right? It's going to be out in a couple of months, and everything that's necessary like this is going to be implemented at a certain point.
So,
So
what is
currently,
your ETA
there's
of the
no need. So
VPS?
this is so
It's
just to explain, right? This is everything that you've seen now is serverless. Serverless means there are no servers to manage. AWS is actually the one that's handling your servers for you. So there's no memory management or anything like that. So that's the actual a positive thing with the serverless architecture.
okay. The next question is actually for Mario. Is actually when is the VPI deployment can be done? And any more firm dates? How many
Can
months?
you show me the question so I can read it by myself?
No, this is my question.
Oh, you mean the VPS deployment?
Yes, yes.
That's just going to be done in a couple of months, yes. So this is not going to take too long. I was working on, just to let you know, I was working on the API builder for 5 months, right? So this was a really hard thing to do, but that's because there was a lot of things that a lot of things had to come together with VPS. It's just a VPS that needs to be deployed, and with AWS it's actually quite simple because you can specify exactly which app you want to have pre-installed on the VPS. So this is going to be really easy to implement for me.
Okay. So the next question by Mabel is, so the AWS is ours. Any idea how much would that cost per
Yeah,
AP?
great question. So that's the reason why I can offer unlimited VPS servers, right? Because I'm not hosting them by myself. Each user is going to host on their own AWS account, and honestly, for me, for building and development, I'm paying around $40 monthly, right, for my whole system. For you, if you just have some website that's not browsed all the time, infrequently, it's a matter of cents, right? You will just pay a couple of cents each month. So I can actually show you the pricing, but for the lowest VPS is I think $3.50 monthly.
Mhm.
So for VPS, and just for the stuff that I've shown you right now, that's all serverless. So that's just a matter of cents. That's much cheaper than VPS.
Okay. So next question by Joginda. Do you have any plans to add one page template like coming soon so that we can deploy them easily?
If you have them, you can deploy them by yourself, right? So something like, for example, I've shown you let me show you this here, right? This is basically a one-page template that I found on right here, right? This is on GitHub. I've just downloaded it from here, and it's there. So you can do something like this on your own. But what I am going to add, and that's probably going to come next year, right? Because this is going to be probably the hardest thing to do. It's actually the UI builder, right? So this is the API builder that I've just built that builds the backend, but you need to build, your front end, but without writing code, right? So I'm also going to create a front end builder that's going to be similar to if people have used things like, Bubble or Webflow, these no code tools for building, websites. So something like that, but it's going to be, I plan on doing it in a much simpler way than it's currently used in any other web builder.
So if it's going to be like a front end builder like Webflow,
Yes,
then will be very good. The
that's
only thing
yeah,
that
because at that point, like I said, you're going to have both the front end builder and the back end builder, and it's all going to run on your AWS account. So you always have access to it, right? Even if you don't want to use a CodeSmash, but with things like Bubble, once you stop actually paying the subscription, then you don't get to use your apps anymore, right? So with CodeSmash, it's actually much better because my product is never going to be subscription based. I want people to, stop paying subscriptions. That's my goal. So it's a one time, it's always going to be one time payment. It's just that the prices are always going to be, increasing. But it's always going to be one time payment, and your apps are forever going to be yours. That's the goal.
Okay, nice to hear.
Yeah.
Question by Rohit: Can I deploy other VPS as well, or only AWS is supported?
Yeah. So currently, I always say that since I'm working, by myself, uh, I've chosen AWS for now, right? So I have to support AWS for now and make it do, make it have all the features that are actually relevant. Once AWS is working properly, all the features are there, then yes, I can support other, cloud providers like Microsoft's Azure, GCP from Google, right? And for VPS, of course, the most popular is the Hetzner because it's very, very cheap.
Okay, thank you. Question by HM Suja: Is there any option of Vue.js deployment and team features?
Uh, Two things. First of all, you can do it right now manually, just the way I showed you, by copying files. But yeah, I'm going to add Vue.js to the roadmap, so you can also deploy it directly from the UI. So yeah, that can be added. And at some point, I'm just going to add a feature where you will have, the ability to deploy from your own GitHub account. So whatever you want, you'll be able to, just put in the repo and deploy from there. But that's, on the roadmap to be deployed, to be, developed at some point. And as for team features, then yes, a lot of people have asked for that. There's going to be, users, user roles, and also workspaces, so that you can, make sure that, for example, for one client, you have only these accounts, several AWS accounts for a specific user, and for some other, users, you can only see these specific accounts, right? So if you're an agency, it's going to be very easy for you because at some point you can just, build your application, and if you're an agency, right, you just hand over the ownership of this AWS account to your client, and that's it. Or you initially just ask your client to give you access to his, AWS account. You build everything, and you just tell him, hey, it works, and you just remove access to a CodeSmash. That's it.
Okay, before we move to the next question, Mario, can you just explain to me or to some other people who might not know what is Vue.js?
Oh, that's the framework. So this is for single page applications. If you probably worked with something like React, then it's very similar. It's basically a JavaScript framework for building, websites.
So, I mean, building for one-page website most of the time, right? Or
Yes, but when I say one page websites, I don't mean that it's only, going to have one page. It's just that it works in this way where it has only one HTML file, and all the changes, when you're, browsing from one page to another, it's dynamically generated. So it's basically, has multiple, pages, but it actually all comes from one single HTML file.
okay, understand. Thank you.
Sure, no
Next
issues.
question by Mabel. For VPS, can we install executable Windows which is supposed to be installed on personal computers?
Yeah, yeah, I actually read that one previously. So, like I said, you can either choose Linux or Windows. So any file you can just put there and do whatever you want with it.
So this can be done. Good.
Yes, yes, of course.
Joginda, can we define the default configuration that is automatically applied to every new web hosting slash VPS?
Yes, of course. That can be done. It's just a case of storing an image file. That's so-called image file, and you deploy from there.
Yeah, this is important. For example, you are doing a one-click WordPress because some people have certain configuration they want to do for their own agency. So for the customer, which means they want to very specifically install every time they click one click install.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Okay, next question by Aaron John. Are the API hooks linked to each feature available in your system?
So there are no current API hooks, right? So specifically, I'm planning to actually add a CLI, if you understand what I'm saying, right? So CLI is going to be a system where instead of going through the UI, because the thing is, developers don't really like using UIs; they like to type. So there's going to be a CLI that you will be able to, just install from npm, and I'm sure Aaron knows what that means. And through this CLI, you will be able to, work with CodeSmash, and of course, every single thing that you do, there's going to be a hook registered to it as well.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. Let's move to the next question. Does it automatically create the database table when we create the API, or do we need to do it manually?
No, it creates a database automatically. It creates a DynamoDB database, which is a NoSQL database. But I'm going to add support for other databases as well because Amazon, AWS supports them. So it's just a question of me, adding support for other databases. But this one is, like the best choice. This is what I've used for CodeSmash as well to build CodeSmash. So if you have some, websites where you need to retrieve data really, quickly, this is the best choice for a database.
Okay, thank you. Muhammad Abdul Barik. Can we add custom SSL to sites?
That's on my roadmap because a lot of people have asked me for that feature, so I will add that at some point.
Okay. Okay, this question is by Sujit. No, is your platform production ready or it is just for MVP testing?
It depends on how production ready you want it to be, but in any case, you can build something that you are going to use in production, right?
Mhm. Yeah, for more information, you have some of the. Oh, maybe you can show us the roadmap. Can you just upload?
Yes, because it's on the front page, right? So if you
Yeah.
go to the front page, just a second. Oops. If you just go down here, should be able to see. Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
So 2023, this was all added. You don't have to think about that too much, but the stuff that's upcoming, I have to build. So this was the latest one, right? The REST API. I've built that. I have to add some plugins for things like Bubble, so that no code developers who are using Bubble actually a lot of Bubble developers don't like to store their data in Bubble because it's very expensive. So they use a different, application, different platform called Zeno, and they store the data there, which actually gives you this REST, API builder as well. They have that, but the thing is with Zeno, you have to pay at least $99 monthly, right? Which soon adds up because they have limits to how much data you can have. With CodeSmash, like I said, it's a one-time payment and there's no limit on the data, right? So it's going to be much cheaper to store the data with all these no-code platforms. But after that, you can see what I said. Next thing is VPS deployment.
Okay. Mario, how do your customer or your potential customers suggest what to add, in your roadmap? Is there a way or you just have to
Yes,
email
you
you?
just join the what's it called? The Discord channel.
Oh, okay. So can you just give me the link that I can put it up?
Okay, I think it should be here, right? Copy link address. So if anyone is interested, it's actually right here, but I can give it to you as well. Can I put it in the live chat or no? I probably can't. I have to give it to you, right?
You can put it in the chat, either the private chat or
Mm, no, I don't think I can. Let me
you can
try.
put it on my private chat.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to you. Here you go.
Okay, I got it. So I will just copy and put it in the chat.
Awesome.
Okay, guys, give me a second. Okay, it should be up there, right?
Don't see it yet. I'm assuming it's going to be the last comment or the
Yeah,
first
it's up now.
one new. Yeah, I see it. Great. I think it's working. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, guys, if you need to look at the roadmap, no, the what they call
It's
Discord.
going to request.
Okay, next, move to the next question.
Sure.
If I bought the early bird offer a while ago, which tier am I currently mapped to? I was also given an additional free code at the time.
So I'm not sure about a specific user. I need to. You can just DM me and we'll have a look, right? So for each
That would be
specific case, I
better.
need to have a look.
Prince Mahmoud, how to ensure project longevity with a small team and limited resources? Okay, fair enough. This question is perfectly valid because Mario is actually one man show at the moment, but it doesn't stop him from become bigger. So maybe Mario, you can tell us your plans and also how are you going to bring CodeSmash to the next level?
It all has to do with how much new features are going to be requested, right? So the interest of the actual users is going to determine how quickly CodeSmash moves forward, right? But I can tell you about when I started. It was actually in 2018. I actually built a social network called Immersive Communities, and it was also, by myself, planning, design, development, everything. And it took me 4 years. So I did that for 4 years, and I delivered that. The only thing that happened is that becoming well known and popular, showing users, having the actual need for a social network is not there because everyone's either using, Facebook or Instagram or something like that. So I decided, hey, this is not the right path. I need to do something else. So then I decided to work on CodeSmash. And I started working on it in February of 2023. So I'm still building and yeah, constantly adding new features. And I'm using, like I said, LTDs, and I'm only going to ever use the LTDs to, you know, add revenue to the actual future company, right? So this is working really well because, like I said, I'm not having any expenses. My monthly bill is $40, so that's absolutely fine. From my perspective, there's no, no indication that I'm actually going to, stop working on it because of limited resources at any point.
Mhm. Okay, that's good. Okay, before we proceed further, Mario, let me project the what giveaway participation form so that they can actually participate. So
Perfect.
let me do it now, and also I will put it into the chat as well. Give me a second, guys. As usual, please participate the giveaway by filling up the form. 3 questions so that you can have a chance to win. So we have five prizes to be won, three tier one and two tier two. So guys, if you want to participate, please do your work and we will spin it at the end of the session. Okay, why not we do one more thing before we actually continue? Uh, I will give away one prize if the person can give the right answer about this webinar, and whoever give the answer that happen to be the first one on the back end will win. Because sometimes because of internet speed and your internet speed and my internet speed are different, so you might say, "Oh, I'm the first one to give the correct answer." So that should be the problem. So just one prize, tier one. Guys, listen to the question. This will give you tier one prize. Okay. Mario, are you ready? I will
Yeah.
ask. Okay, just for your information, we did ask Mario where is his original country. So please tell us where is Mario's original country. Put it in the chat, and we will see who is the first winner. Nobody? Anybody? Looks like nobody. Put in the YouTube chat, and it will appear in the answer. Okay, I repeat the question. Where is Mario's original country? Right now, Mario is based in Japan, but he's not from Japan. Nobody. Okay, no, no, not Brazil. Okay, where is Mario original country? You
I think
can
people are more
rewind the
interested in
YouTube, and you
technical
can see.
questions.
You can hear what he's saying. You can rewind the YouTube. That's a fun question. India. Oh my God, Mario, you doesn't look like Indian, right? Okay, this is the question. Where is Mario's original country? Which means, where is it from originally? He's from Europe, I can tell you, as a hint. Okay, if nobody can answer, no problem. We can spin it later. Which means most of you are not paying attention right in the beginning.
I think we have a
Oh,
camera.
Mabel, Bob Reynolds, you are the
Yep.
winner. Bob Reynolds, you are the winner of Tier 1. Okay, of course, Mabel also answered correctly. Joginda also under Korea Sia. I think maybe this is an Indian spelling. I'm not sure. So unfortunately, not Mario, Bob Reynolds is the first one who actually answered correctly. Appear on my backend. Okay, thank you. So we will move to the question and answer now for the next question. I have to scroll up and up. Okay, this is an interesting question. As I told you, Rohit was asking, is one-click WordPress installation available in Tier 1? But
So
this is
no, that's
tier.
we already went through that, right? So that's going to be in tier 2.
Okay, does it use Open Light Speed from Rahul?
No, I've never worked with that before.
Mhm. Okay, next question by Suja. Is there any option to send database changes to any external services using webhook?
That's a great question, and I'm going to add that it's a simple, procedure because, for example, DynamoDB that I'm using has so-called triggers, right? And every time you either insert a new record, delete, or update, it's going to know that this has happened, and you can just fire, any function based on that. So yeah, that can be added.
Okay, thank you. Next question by Ankit. Where is our code being hosted? Shouldn't we be receiving a bill if we hosted on AWS?
Yes, true. So you have to open your AWS account, right? And you will be receiving bills from AWS, which are going to be, quite cheap. And your code and your infrastructure and your data, everything is on your private AWS account. So, CodeSmash doesn't. So any traffic that you have for your website, nothing goes through CodeSmash. CodeSmash is just there to set everything up. Once it's up, you have full control.
Okay. Next question by Jadip. Only AWS or any other server we can connect? I
Yeah,
mean,
so like I said, it's coming in the future. So, but currently I'm working only on AWS because I'm working, by myself. So I have to focus on, one platform at a time.
okay, this question is from Ibrahim Shah. Will you also support other cloud providers such as Azure or Google? Yeah, coming.
Yes.
Okay, my gig. My Gcast, I don't know how to spell your name, sorry. Does CodeSmash Studio support collaboration between multiple developers? For example, can we work together on the same project or simultaneously?
Yes, that was actually one of my ideas why I wanted to build it in the way that I did. So the way I built it is that every time you deploy an app, in the background, like I said, you don't know that, but in the background, what's being done is you have your CI/CD pipeline, for those who understand DevOps, being set up. So what you actually have is your code, and every time you make change to that code, your application gets immediately rebuilt and redeployed. So your infrastructure is always in sync with your code. Now, the only thing you have to do is basically just get that code right from the repository, and you can actually get the URL directly from each application in CodeSmash, right? There's a Git a logo on there where you just click and you get the URL and you clone it on your desktop. Once you've done that, you just open your Visual Studio or VS Code, whatever you're using, and you just work on the project. And you commit like you would with any other, code-based project. Now, something that's also there is, like I said, you can use the UI to make the changes. So that means that it's not only traditional developers who write code who can work together, but it's also no code developers together with traditional developers who code, and everyone can just work together.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next question is also by Magicast. What kind of learning resources and documentation do you provide to help new users get up to speed with the platform quickly?
Okay, so on my website there's a link to tutorials, right? Written tutorials that I have to say are currently slightly outdated, so I have to fix that. But what you do also have is YouTube channel, right? With the tutorials. So that's also linked on the website. So you just go there and look at my tutorials. But the best way to get started quickly with CodeSmash is my Discord channel and sending me a DM, right? So I'm going to respond and work with you to get started. So that's the best tutorial you can have.
Okay, thank you. Fadin is asking, how does this deal different from the previous LTT launch? So I believe it's last time it's only tier one, if I'm not wrong.
The thing is, there were three tiers, right?
Uh-huh.
And the higher one is the same one like with the so the current tier 2 is basically the so-called enterprise for the previous one, and the tier 1 is something between tier like personal plan and business plan, but with some limitations. That's special to this early bird deal. But what I can tell you is that the prices that you see now, it's never going to be like this, and the prices are going to increase for my when I do the actual sale, day-to-day sales, when people just find me on YouTube or wherever, and they just go and buy the plan, those are going to be much more expensive. So this is specific to this particular sale.
Okay, thank you for your explanation. By the same guy again, what integration does CodeSmash have with the version control system like Git for managing the code we build?
Yeah, that's like I said, you get a full, a complete CI/CD pipeline, and the Git system that's in use is AWS's code commit, right? So code commit stores your code. You can clone it like you would from GitHub or GitLab, whatever, and you have code build for building your code, and code pipeline for actually triggering. Once you commit to the repository, it automatically triggers and builds your code. So that's all under the hood. It's there. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, for those who are not too technical. But for those of you who are technical, you can just click on the icon, the pipeline icon in the on each app in CodeSmash, and it's going to take you directly to your pipeline in AWS, and you can
Can
see
you
your code
just show
from
the
there.
screen that your screen to show the icon?
You want me to show it, right?
Yeah, to show your tab. Yes, correct.
Oh, just a second. Apps. Okay. Let me quickly reload. Okay, this one, right? So you can see it says here pipeline, right? So just
Okay.
go here, click here. You'll see that all the stages are green. So that's the last time when we built. When was that? 37 minutes ago. But what you actually want is to see the code, right? You just click here where it says AWS code commit. So click here, and there you go. These are the files. Your code is here, and it says how to deploy the REST API, right? So that's actually the description of the code. So you can go here into the Lambda if you want more. The previous ones that you saw are definitions for the infrastructure, and if you want the actual code, you can see functions here and whatnot. So these are TypeScript files. For example, you go to contains. So this is one function that checks if an array contains something, and you can see the code here. So it's as simple as that.
Okay, thank you. So this question by Mabel. Uh, what type of product API can be created? And any product with the front end portal. So
Anything. So in my view, I don't like putting limitations on my users. If you want to build something with your API, you should be able to build whatever you want. That's that. So your API is going to be able to, store any data you want, and you can retrieve any data you want. It's fine.
so
But
for
any type
product,
of, SaaS, right? So software as a service, any type of SaaS you want, you can build it. It's fine.
okay. For and the last question, any product with front end portal mean is he saying that is the front end builder?
No, no, no. The front end is just for deploying. Currently, when it comes to front end, you can only deploy templates which are already pre-built, and then you can, change them by changing the code. But when it comes to the back end, I have the API builder, which is no code, and you can build with that. You can build the back end. But like I said, next year I am planning, when the VPS is done and everything's working, then my goal is to build also the front end builder.
Okay, thank you. Joginda asking, are all routes created automatically when we create an API? How do we add attributes to an API?
It's actually quite simple. You need to define which routes you want. So you just type in the name of the route and click, add routes, and it's going to automatically add, the get, the delete, the post, and so on methods for your entity, right? So each entity is going to have routes for all the methods that you need, and they are going to be implemented in such a way that they already either insert the data into the database or get it back if you wanted to. But there's a button that you can click that actually just adds your routes but leaves the implementation up to you. So it's really up to you how you want to do it, but by default, yeah, it does add the implementation of the route. You just need to specify the route name.
Yeah, by the way, I think Mario has shown that in the demo
True.
earlier.
Yes, that
Okay,
has been
no
shown.
problem. Rafil, Anik, can we choose the stack step that is being used?
So for now, like I said, if you want to deploy directly from CodeSmash, when it comes to the front end, you have Next.js, but you can, if you want to, copy the files manually, you can go to any GitHub repository, download some template, a front end template, and paste in the files, manual, and it's going to work.
Okay, same question. No, same person. Does it integrate a no-code front-end builder just like Bubbles?
Goal for the next year.
Go
So
for next
yeah,
year.
that's what I mentioned. When VPS is done, that's then next thing for next year.
Okay, Ankit Dizit is asking how is load balancing being handled?
So this is serverless architecture, right? The so-called Lambda. Okay, let me explain it like this. So for the API that you deploy, you get three services. You get the API gateway, which is basically your URL for your API, and you get the Lambda, which is where the processing is done, right? AWS Lambda, where your code is being executed, and you get the DynamoDB. So all these things are already, serverless, which means that they scale with actual traffic. So you don't have to worry about that.
Okay, thank you. So the UI builder will be part of LTD.
Everything that you buy, at least when it comes to tier two, you get all the future updates. No question about that. Yeah.
So next question by this guy, I'm not sure because it's either a Japanese or maybe a Taiwanese or what. Can CodeSmash handle the front end development?
Currently, like I said, only deployment of already existing templates, right? But like I said, next year it's my goal to start working on the front end, builder.
Okay, Eugene Wilkerson asks, can one-click WordPress deployment copy an existing setup?
That's something that can be certainly added. I'm currently, thinking of how I'm going to actually make it such that I deploy a new WordPress setup, and this specific feature that can be added later.
Okay, Jenna is asking, what do you mean by CI/CD on deal? Do you run integration or build on your server?
So that's actually all ran everything runs on your private AWS account. So you get the CI/CD pipeline, like I said, and it's yours to use it and modify it as you want. But CodeSmash just creates it for you.
Suwo saying, would it possible to create an application from public GitHub repository that we do not own?
So here's the thing. I am planning on adding a feature where you would create your own GitHub account, right? And create your own GitHub repository and deploy from there, which would make sense. But from something that you don't own, that wouldn't that wouldn't make too much sense unless you can literally just copy it. If you understand what I'm saying, you can just copy this public repository and save it into yours, and at that point you can just change it, and whenever you upload new code, right, when you commit the code, your CodeSmash is going to automatically build everything. But if you want to go directly from some unknown repository, then you cannot, push to that repository, and your app is not going to, change. So it's going to have to be your own GitHub repository. So if you have something that you're interested in that's public, yeah, you can always download it, upload it to your repository, and work from there.
Okay, understand. Ankit is asking, is it helping us to transferring our code or website from one server to another?
That's also going to be possible at some point, right? So Ankit is probably talking about VPS, right? So that's something like a migration. So yeah, that is going to be a feature that I can add.
Okay, this question is rather wrong. Can we create API for clients and resell something like user role, client workspaces as an agency who would like to manage some API integration for my clients?
Yeah, perfect use case, right? So if you want to manage it for your clients, there are two ways, right? You can just have it on your own AWS account, or maybe at some point just give it to your client. So it's up to you. You can build anything you want. So there are no limits on what you can build.
So which means they don't have to pay you royalties.
Yes, because like I said, it's all hosted on the users, right, AWS account, and I don't really have access to that, so it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, this is made in apron cleaning company. Okay. Do you connect to front end solution like Bubble, Glide, Softer, Flutterflow?
Yes, that's currently on my what's it called, on the roadmap. If you check the homepage, I am working on the plugins for Bubble and other no-code builders. Currently working on the YouTube video to show how to use CodeSmash with Bubble's API connector, right? So once that's done, I also build the plugin because Bubble actually charges you for these API connectors, not too much, but still charges you. And tools, similar tools to mine, right? Like Zeno also have this connector, the plugin for Bubble, which makes it such that you don't actually have to pay for invocations of the API. So I'm going to create that as well, and yeah, you will be able to use it. But even though you can use it now, like I said, with Bubble's API connector, I'm actually preparing a YouTube video so you can see exactly how to connect everything. So that's going to be done in a couple of maybe a week or two.
Okay, can I use this tool with my team members?
The you can, it's just that it doesn't have user features for now. If you understand what I'm saying, that's something that's upcoming, right? So I need to add, like I said, users, user roles, and the workspaces, so you can handle everything that you need to handle for proper teamwork. But yes, the goal is to add those features.
Would that be in tier 1 or tier 2?
uh, if I remember correctly, it says tier 2. Those features are for tier 2.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you have to buy the highest tier in order to enjoy all the benefits.
True.
Okay, Mohammed Abdul Barik, can we able to deploy static website in different cloud platform with this tool later?
Yes, later. So later. So for now, it's AWS, but I'm going to add others later.
Okay, Wilkerson is asking, can I integrate with Toddles?
I'm assuming the Total has, invocations of third-party APIs, so probably yes. I haven't checked, but like I said, I'm working currently on Bubble, and when that's done, I'm going to check, others like Webflow and create a couple of YouTube videos. I'm going to try to, hit as many of these, no-code API builders and try to show you how to use them with CodeSmash.
Okay, this is the link of the Discord channel that you can join, to have direct contact with the community in Discord. Okay, next, Robert Minder, can we use it for API or any ready-made API?
There's not. Okay, I can help you if you want something. I'm sharing my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's then in that case, let's quickly go here. Let it just load. So there are no actual templates, right? You can easily create your own API. It's not that big of a deal. But what you can do to make your life simpler, right, is you can basically just a second. So when you're defining routes, let me just remove all of these functions. When you're defining routes, see there's a magic wand here. It says show custom functions. You just click here and now you have examples. So this is really useful. So each function, something that you can execute inside your API, you have a name, you have a description, some sample in the code, but this is all valid TypeScript code, which you can use in the TypeScript, so-called TypeScript playground online. So and you can just execute this and you see what it does. But you don't actually, like I said, need to write this in CodeSmash. CodeSmash is going to do it for you. So if you click here, apply, what do you get? You actually get these visual blocks that actually do the job for you, right? So this is one way how you can easily implement things in CodeSmash. And you have these functions on arrays, some helper functions on utilities, some mathematical functions, the date functions, and some kind of shortcuts for what exactly, for example, inserting item into the database, updating item, and so on and so forth. For joining data, left join, right join, and so on. So these are some of the things that will help you out when building your API.
Okay, thank you. This question is by Fadin. How will the WordPress be deployed? Using Docker or native?
That's something that I have to see how it's done on AWS, because AWS has all those things already, built in. into their VPS called the Light Sail. So I just have to check and see how it works. But whatever they have, it's that's how it's going to be.
Okay, Bob is asking how many are you on your team? I see only tier two. On tier two, you offer Zoom support.
Yeah, that's me. So you'll be talking to me on Zoom.
Okay. Next question by Tusa Abdullah. Is there a way to transmit database update to an external service through webhook?
I think we had a similar question.
Yeah.
I plan on adding this feature because DynamoDB, the database that I'm actually using, natively supports triggers. So when you add some data or delete or update, it can trigger some execution, and through that you will be able to send it to a third party, source.
Okay. Can we use other VPS of our choice as AWS is costly?
So you can always use, the lowest, you know, the lowest tier when it comes to AWS VPS, which is just I think $3.50 monthly. But currently, like I said, it's only going to be AWS. At some point, I'm going to add, I think that the cheapest one is probably that Hetzner one, and that's what most people want. So I will add that over time.
Sorry. Okay. Still prefer Facebook Live. YouTube Live has a delay. Okay, Mabel, the reason why we don't use Facebook Live because they do not allow us to schedule using web video, etc. And we can't see what the comment actually on in this Facebook Live. So that feature is no longer available. So there is no choice, and YouTube is the best so far. Of course, we still can do it in the Facebook chat, not Facebook chat, Facebook page. But then I would prefer Facebook in YouTube so that it become a one unified system, so that everybody know every time we have webinar, there will be in YouTube. Okay, thank you. This is I don't know, Ray. By the way, the deal link is not working. I think it's working. I'm not sure. It should be
Should
working.
work. If it's not working, then we have an issue.
It should be working. Okay, this public roadmap has been shown just now. Okay. No, Muhammad, will this reform into Coolify or Easy Panel alternative in the future?
Something like that, yeah. So it's going to be, I mean, it already is something for deploying apps, right? So it already is that. It's just that I've also started adding, features for actually building, developing, websites. So it's going in multiple directions. And the reason why is I've gotten maybe 80% of the requests are, for VPS, for server management. So I have to add that, that's what the users want. So it's going to go into that direction. But at the end of the day, if you're building a SaaS, if you're building a company, yes, you're going to build something, some features, some custom features you are going to build, but you're not going to build everything, right? So if you want to add something like a CMS, simple CMS, you're probably not going to waste time building it. You're just going to deploy a WordPress website, right? So I have to support both building and just deploying and managing, servers of already existing stuff. So that's my goals to just go, be all in one service.
Okay, thank you. Ray, in case you want to scan this code on the top left-hand corner, that is a QR code for the LTD link. That will bring you to the correct site. Okay, next question by Digital Product One is unlimited server deploy? Can we manage client on there and the client can have their self login or not?
So not sure what the question is referring to.
For
So
example, WordPress.
yeah, so if it's WordPress, then you can do anything you want with your WordPress, right? So that should work without any issues.
But VPS? What about VPS?
Yeah, that because WordPress is on VPS, so that should be completely fine. But if you're referring to, logging into CodeSmash, then currently only you will have access
I
to
see.
CodeSmash. But when I add, workspaces and user functions, then you will be able to let your client log in as well if you want to, and other users.
Okay. So how many people in your team? Yeah, one and only one at the moment.
Exactly.
Okay, DS Wong, I'm interested in load balancer. Can we set up directly?
So I think that this specific question is, even though probably it's not for the API, which I already said it's load balanced by default, but this is probably for VPS. There will be an option where you can click, hey, I want a load balancer for VPS, because AWS actually offers that, by default. It's all already built in. So yes, that's going to be available. It's going to have an additional cost, but not by me, but by on the side of AWS.
Okay, so digital one, product one is clarifying that I want to deploy WhatsApp too. Is it must use APS, VPS?
Not sure about how WhatsApp works, but if it requires a VPS, then you will probably need a VPS. Yes.
Okay, so YouTube Live is good, but maybe any delay, maybe about connection. Okay, even though in Facebook Live there is also some delay, especially in country where the bandwidth is not so good. So definitely there will be some delay, either millisecond or few hundred millisecond or whatever. There will be some delay because the mess the bandwidth, from one country to another country to the server of this web video all travel differently. So you still have delay unless we are actually in my own backend that is instantaneous for me. Okay, let's do another question. This could be the last question. How is it compared to Bunny Shell? Bunny Shell is defunct, what they call web hosting, I think, services. Do you know that, Mario? I don't.
No, haven't used them, but if they actually, offered actual real web hosting, then it's not that, because this is not offering, CodeSmash is not offering web hosting. Web hosting is going to be done by AWS, so it's different in that case.
Okay, guys. I think we have finished all the question. If you still have any question, you can ask while we are doing the giveaway. And
Nice.
Mario, can you just talk to them while I'm actually getting up the views of name up so they.
Okay, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch the comments right here. So if someone asks me, yeah, I can answer in real time. It's not an issue.
Okay, give me a few minutes.
Absolutely.
Okay, we have about 27 and 26 entry. Okay, let me project my screen.
Yeah, please do.
Hold on, let me share my screen. Okay, guys, these are the names of the people who have participated on the giveaway. And let me shuffle and sort it up so that we can delete some of the repeated name. Okay, so we will draw two prices from here, views of name, that is a tier one, and we will draw another two prices using wave video system, auto generated system to decide the winner. Okay, let's spin now. Two names, tier one. Are you ready, guys? Saravanam, are you there, Saravanam? Are you there to ask the question? To, to ask the question, to put your name and so to claim the prize. If not, we will spin again. Okay, there is another question from DS Wong.
Okay.
I would like to suggest to look into existing VPS management SaaS like Run Cloud and Server Avatar and build main feature they have. Oh, this is so-called bracket your competitor because they are actually what they call WordPress web hosting services.
Yes, already looked into those. So that's the best way to go about it. Just see what the most popular features are, what the users want, and offer those. Absolutely makes perfect sense.
Okay, Saravanam, you're not there. I give you a few more seconds while I spin the second prize. If you are not here after the spinning, we will spin again. Okay, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Spin. Edit. Jedip Haria. Jedip Haria. Are you there? Okay. Saravanam Ranga Raju. So you are there. So congratulations. So
Nice.
let's see the next winner. Jedip Haria. Are you there? Don't go back. You go back, you'll miss the prize. Don't shut down. But sometimes people maybe want to go for dinner or maybe some other thing. I'm not sure. This is the next question. There is no my name Gela Satya Pradana. I think you didn't submit the form. That's a problem, you know. If you don't submit the form, then how can I put your name? Okay. Another possible reason is you submit after I take up the name from all the database. Okay. Next one is Jadip Haria. Are you there, Jadip? Calling one, calling two, not there. Calling three. Okay, looks like we have to remove his name and we have to spin again. Okay, so we have Saravanam. Yes, the winners. Jadip, we will have to cancel his name. So let's spin again to get the second tier one prize. Maybe Barik. Maybe Barik. Are you there to claim your prize? Maybe Barik. Please type your name in the chat so that we can actually award this prize to you. Are you there? So can somebody call him from India? Ankit DC, can you call him? Or Joginda? Rangaraju. No, Barak is from Bangladesh, you are not wrong. I'm not sure. Okay, congratulations. Abi Barak. Okay, correct. Your name is there. That's it. Okay, so we have three winners. First one is Bob Reynolds. Second one is Saravanam Rangaraju, and the third one is AB Barrett. So unfortunately, JD didn't claim his prize, so we have to forfeit him. So let's go to the last two prizes, tier two. So this one will get excited. Okay, I will use the system on the web video. There is a raffle system that they can decide a winner. Okay, let me spin now and see who is the winner. I don't know how you can see that, but after I spin, they will show the name. That's it. Let's go. Yeah, I think, can you see the winners?
Yeah, yeah, we can see it.
That would be good. Oh, JD Maria. Okay, I give you another chance. If you are there to claim the prize, please type your name, or else I will just what I call spin another time. So JD, you are a lucky guy, but then please do your part. If you abandon the ship of webinar halfway, sorry, this is not we are not going to award this prize to you. Is he there? No, right? Okay, never mind. I'll give you another few seconds. I will do another spin for the second tier 2 prize. Let's go. No sound, unfortunately. Digital product 1. Okay, so this is Gala Satya Pradana, right?
Oh, nice.
Correct.
The product one.
Nice, nice, nice. So you are the winner. Okay, I want to know the first winner of the tier 1. Is it there, J-Dip? Yeah, you are back. Okay, congratulations. So finally they are here. Okay, let me type the name. Hold on, give me 2 seconds because I need to make sure I type the right name. Okay, we have all the winners. Where else? Let me see. I think we have all the winners. Okay, Abdul Barik. Yeah, I forgot the name. Okay, I will just recap the name of the winners. First one is Bob Reynolds. Second one is Saravanam Ranga Raju. And the third one is Abdul Barik for tier 1 prize. And tier 2 prize is Jadip Haria. And digital 1 product 1, I think is Gala Satya Pratana, from Indonesia. Okay, congratulations, guys. I guess we have finished our webinar formally. And we would like to say a few words, before you go to sleep or go back to your work. So a very big thank you to Mario, who actually I seen as a personal founder who is very enthusiastic about his product and also about his solution. So one good thing I see that he is actually working very hard on it, on the product, especially on the roadmap. Some of you might think that this is buying a roadmap. Yeah, in a sense, buying a roadmap, because a lot of you are actually looking forward to VPS and also WordPress and all that kind of thing. But don't worry, Mario will be here to actually fulfill his promise. And before we end our webinar, I would like to ask Mario again, do you have anything to tell the audience or anything that you want to say to them?
Yes, absolutely. So first, thank you, Albert, for inviting me. This was an amazing opportunity to, show my work, showcase CodeSmash to everyone who wants to see. And thank you so much to the audience. I really loved all the questions. And yeah, I've seen the enthusiasm. So that's going to just make me want to work more on it. So thank you very much to everyone.
Okay, so before we conclude, for those who have not won any prizes in this webinar, you can always buy it. So as a link, you can actually use the link, or you can actually scan the QR code on the CodeSmash Ltd. And remember to use early bird as a coupon code to get 10% discount. And with this, I will say goodbye, good night, and thank you for coming, and also thank you for Mario once again. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Bye.